Yo, it's Zero, and based on the thumbnail, most of you may know what this video is. That is, if you have been on my channel for a very long time, as I uploaded this series 2 years ago. And I know it's crazy of me to say that, but it was 2 years ago. But more than that, this series helped start my channel and blow it up and get it to the point where it is now. So I figured I'd re-upload it as a movie. That way, we can all enjoy the story of the Red Devil of the Leaf Village together. However, before I start the video, please like it and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already or you're new to my channel. Now, without any more wait at all, let's get started.
Yo, let's get it. I'm a trapping fanatic, that shit automatic, so I cannot turn it on or off. Bitches all on my dick, then she hop on my dick, I'm like, why you keep hopping on and off? Yo, bitch all on my dick, she be doing the most. I tell her, little bitch, she so extra. And my gun up on me, but not run up on me, niggas, they wanna fight.
For this, Naruto will be half Uchiha, being Minato's genetics. Minato is also the grandson of Izuna Uchiha, Madara's younger brother, and Naruto's great uncle and grandfather. Naruto is still half Uzumaki, that being Kushina's side of the family. Naruto, after he is a little older, will be placed into the Uchiha compound by Hiruzen, thinking that this would help the boy. He is very wrong. The Uchiha treated him worse than the villagers did. He is about 5, but when the adults see him in public, they usually hit him a couple of times, saying things like, "You're the reason the village hates us. You don't deserve to be an Uchiha. You're just trash." Since Naruto gets bullied so much anywhere he would go, this causes him to unlock his one Tomoe Sharingan at 5 years old, being one of the youngest to do so. Naruto would also be very intelligent, liking to stay inside and read. Until nighttime, he does go out and train due to him being able so, because no one would bother him at night. One night, however, he is training and is kunai throwing when he hears someone. Naruto is being more of an introvert, but he keeps his distance as he looks. He sees a boy and an older man training on a river. "Fire style, fireball jutsu," they would say together. "Wow, Itachi, yours is almost getting as big as mine. I'm proud to call you my son." Naruto runs away after seeing this, and then he thinks to himself that he wished he had a family like that, but instead, everyone hates him. He wishes no one could see his face. Naruto gets to an open area where he does hand signs that he just saw. "Fire style, fireball jutsu." It was not too large of a flame, but he appears, and then he notices, and then he takes notes and goes home. He wakes up the next morning and puts on his clothes and drags himself to the academy, the worst parts of his day. Naruto wouldn't talk to anyone, he just never tries because in his mind, there's just no point to try. Plus, Naruto is very lazy. They would be doing kunai throws, but Naruto sits down looking up at the forest. He says under his breath, "I want to disappear." Naruto hears his name, but he keeps his head in his lap. Iruka then calls again, "Naruto. Naruto, come on, it's your turn. Hurry up." Naruto walks over, grabs the kunai, and drops it on the ground instead of throwing it. He turns back and goes to sit down. Iruka says, "Sasuke, you're next." Sasuke hits all of the bullseye except for one. All the girls then go crazy. "Good job, Sasuke. Where did you learn to do that? Can you teach me how?" Naruto just loses himself in thought. Well, maybe one day I can disappear. After a while, the students will begin sparring. Haruka then says, "Next we will have Sasuke versus Naruto." Naruto stays sitting down, ignoring him, while Sasuke waits in the circle. Haruka then calls his name a couple more times. "Naruto. Naruto. Naruto, I know you hear me." Naruto snaps out of his thoughts, walking up to the circle. Sasuke throws a punch at Naruto's face. Naruto doesn't flinch, but he falls over on purpose. As usual, people would praise Sasuke and disregard Naruto. But Sasuke gets angry by the fact that Naruto doesn't try. He believes that Naruto is mocking him. After school is over, Naruto goes into one of the places where no one seems to hate him, the library, and the librarian's name was Exio. He doesn't mind Naruto being there because he feels bad for the boy. Naruto walks up to his desk. "Ah, my favorite reader, what can I help you with today, Naruto?" "The same as usual, Exio." The tall blonde man reaches under his desk, handing Naruto 3 thick books. Naruto puts him in his bag and starts to walk home. As he does, he sees a lot of kids and parents. Naruto goes deep into thought. All this world gives me is pain and suffering. Where is the love and peace that I so desire? Does it not exist? If it doesn't, how can I make it exist? Naruto bumps his head into a man. He then bows before looking. It's fine, Naruto. Just come with me. He looks up, seeing Hiruzen, and then follows him. When they get to the office, Hiruzen sits down in the chair. Naruto, what do you think about fighting? Naruto looks out the window at a hawk flying by. Fighting is necessary in order to gain something a person wants, but when it happens, the ninjas on the other side of the spectrum lose people that they love. But sacrifices are crucial in order to achieve something as temporary as peace. Hiruzen has to collect himself after hearing this from a 5-year-old boy. Naruto reminds him of Itachi, but he doesn't seem to care about his own life, and he has no will or drive to do anything. You may go, Naruto. Naruto walks out, getting stares and laughs from the villagers, and the other Uchiha, as he hears one person say, "He's probably not even an Uchiha. Look at his red hair." Naruto turns to the adult, showing his Sharingan. This shocks a lot of people around, and Shisui would catch a peek at his eyes and go to the Hokage's office. Naruto gets to his house, sliding the door open and sitting down in a room, and then takes his books out. He takes one of them out and starts to read it, and the title would read, Madara Uchiha's Legacy. Meanwhile, at the Hokage's office, Shisui explains to Hiruzen that Naruto already has a Sharingan at that young of an age, and he is a lazy prodigy. Hiruzen lets him go, but he tells him, keep an eye on Naruto for me, because he is developing a Hokage's mindset very quickly, and I want to see where this takes him, or what he will do with it. Naruto is reading the books, and he writes down notes on papers. He then reads a part that makes him cry. Is Uzuna Uchiha, his younger brother, dies at the hand of Tobirama Senju, Hashirama's younger brother. Then, a little after, it would say, Madara steals his eyes for more power. This causes Naruto to stop crying, and his eyes gain one more tomoe. Because of his immense anger. What a ton of crap. Madara loved his brother. Izuna, seeing no other option to win, probably gave his eyes to his elder brother. The corrupted shinobi history pisses me off. Naruto keeps reading and learns a lot. Things such as the Susanoo, Mangekyo Sharingan, and he learns of different wars and a lot about Madara's life from this book alone. But that night, Naruto would leave his house. He doesn't go to train. He runs to the Hokage building, sneaking in and then taking the scroll of sealing. He would read it in the room, as using his eyes he memorizes 2 parts of it. The second jutsu he read above it has, Tribute to my old friend, Madara Uchiha. Naruto puts it back in place, leaving the room. He goes to an open area. He then does the signs. Multi-shadow clone jutsu. 200 Naruto then appear. Naruto looks around at all of them. Being smart and lazy makes an idea pop up in his head. All of the Narutos begin to start doing the same hand sign. Fire style, majestic destroyer flame. As a bunch of big fireballs appear in the sky, Naruto does this for a couple of hours, being able to master it in a day. Naruto walks home due to his exhaustion and his clothes being scorched and torn from all the training. He doesn't eat, he takes a bath and goes to bed. The next morning, he wakes up and Naruto looks at the clock. I'm late for school. Actually, no problem. Naruto gets ready and then makes a clone that goes to school for him. The real Naruto stays reading the other thick book that has a title of All the Ninja Wars. Naruto says to himself, all of them for now. At the academy, Naruto's clones just act like him, not speaking to anyone, and goes about his usual day and spaces out a lot. Then comes up the spars with Sasuke. Sasuke goes against the clone. The popular Uchiha gets on top of the Naruto clone, hitting him non-stop. When he punches again, his fist hits the ground and his knuckles begin to bleed as the Naruto clone poofs, revealing to everyone else that it was a clone. Iruka is very astonished by Naruto's development as a ninja at such a young age. Naruto is at his house In the Uchiha compound, when he gets a knock on his door. Great, even more problems. Fugaku Uchiha opens the door, or slides it open. You have been summoned at the Hokage's office, Naruto. The red-haired boy looks up and leaves the books on the floor. When he walks out, Fugaku gets a glance at one of the books he is reading and tries to process why a 5-year-old would be reading books or for a Jonin or a Chunin. Naruto walks into the office. There, he would see Iruka and Hiruzen. Iruka speaks up. Why did you skip school, Naruto? Naruto looks out the window. To read some books. Iruka gets angry. That's not enough reason. Naruto then snaps at his teacher. Iruka, you could argue that anything we shinobi do doesn't have enough reason, but we still do it anyway. Iruka is lost for words. Hiruzen is shocked to see Naruto's declaration that he has spoken has given him a 3 Tomoe Sharingan. Then he asks Naruto a question. What are you reading, Naruto? Naruto looks and points at a picture of the first Hokage, corrupted shinobi history of my ancestor, Madara Uchiha. What do you mean corrupted? Hiruzen would say. Naruto turns to him. I want a real answer, Lord Third. If you were in a war, won't you do anything to win? Hiruzen responds, yes, of course I will, Naruto, but that doesn't. Naruto cuts him off and then speaks with so much passion in his words. Exactly. So, what if I wanted to say that Tobirama Senju didn't initially kill Madara Uchiha's younger brother Uzuna on the battlefield? What if he survived, and before passing away, he gave his eyes to his elder brother, knowing that he could put an end to all the fighting if he had the much power that was needed? And the true reason Madara Uchiha gave up was peace, not because of his childhood friend, but for his family that shunned him after he tried to give them the world. Naruto bows and leaves the room angrily. Hiruzen and Iruka just sit there in silence, processing of all what Naruto said. Iruka then turns to the Hokage. He's wrong, right, Lord Third? Hiruzen has his hands on his head, rubbing his forehead. His eyes are closed. Go get me a Nara clan member so we can discuss this issue together. Naruto heads home after being questioned by the Hokage. On the way there, he sees a weapon shop, but he feels in his pocket. No money as usual. Maybe another time then. Naruto gets home, sits back on the floor, and starts to read his books. He finishes all of them, so he gets up, putting them back in his bag. He walks back to the library. A ninja named Shisui Uchiha was tasked with following Naruto and observing the boy who reached the library. He also talks to Exio. Whoa, Naruto, already done? You must love reading books. Naruto cracks a smile. Well, what would you like to take home this time? Naruto then says, information on how jutsus are created. Exio crouches down under his desk. Ah, I see. Interesting topic. Well, you're gonna need these 2 books then. He puts the books and hands them out to Naruto. Naruto puts them in his bags and waves at Exio and leaves. Naruto doesn't like being out in public at all, but he does enjoy seeing animals. As he walks home, he looks up at the sky, seeing that same hawk. He then gets an idea and runs back in the library. Exio, can you give me a book on hawks too? Hawks, huh? Well, that's a weird one. I feel like this one should be fun. Naruto bows and walks out, rushing home. He gets into his room, pulling out the books. The first one he reads is about the hawks, called The Sky's Lion. Naruto uses his Sharingan and reads the medium-sized book with great speed. He closes the book and goes outside into the forest. He grabs fruits and kills rats in different places, and then he leaves them on the branch for the hawk. He sits on that branch all day waiting for the hawk. He decides to move a little bit further away so the hawk doesn't get scared of him. A couple minutes will pass by and the hawk flies down, starting to eat the food. But before Naruto can even make his move, a man grabs the hawk, putting it in a bag. You're going to make me a lot of money, my friend. Naruto is angry, so he punches the man, who drops the bag with the hawk flying out. Naruto then fans his hands. Run, you're free now, go. The hawk then flies away. Naruto is punched in his face by the man. You piece of trash, it got away. Naruto gets up, brushing himself off, and starts to walk away. "Oh, it's not gonna be that easy, kid," the man would say, as he runs at Naruto, cocking his fist back. Naruto turns around, using his Sharingan, putting the man in the Genjutsu. The man falls to the ground. Naruto then makes a clone that picks him up and takes him to the hospital. From afar, Shisui is amazed by Naruto and goes to report to the Hokage on this. Naruto goes into his house where he sees the hawk sitting on the roof before he goes inside. It flies down to Naruto, who puts his arm out for it to land on. Naruto gets out a fish and the hawk takes it. Naruto walks inside with the hawk on his arm, and then the hawk would stand on the counter watching Naruto, who is pushing something into the wall. Naruto wipes sweat off of his face. "This is for you. Well, I guess I have to name you. What about Sora?" The bird flies around in a happy manner, landing on the piece of wood that Naruto put out for him. Naruto lays back down on the floor, reading the next book that is titled Every Jutsu's Hand Sign. He reads the book, memorizing all of the signs. It's becoming morning, so he doesn't sleep. He gets up and sends a clone to school for him. Naruto turns to Sora. "Here you go. Get some fresh air too." He opens a window over the sink and props it open so Sora can fly in and out whenever he wanted to. Naruto then looks at the last book called Chakra Natures. All morning, Naruto would read the book. He sees paper at the end of the book, so he takes them outside. Naruto figures out that he has an affinity for fire, wind, and lightning release. Naruto makes 30 shadow clones. They all keep doing the same hand signs over and over again. After a couple of hours, the clones then see a fire under their feet. The real Naruto smiles and then makes 100 more clones to speed up the process. At the academy, the Hokage walks in. "May I excuse Naruto from class today?" The clone ignores the Hokage as he calls his name. "Naruto. Naruto." The clone then side-eyes Hiruzen, smirks, and poofs. The third Hokage leaves for the Uchiha compound. When he gets there, he is surprised to see a bunch of Naruto standing around on a fire. Naruto turns and sees Hiruzen and poofs all the clones. Hiruzen then speaks. "What did you do to that man? He doesn't leave his house at all." "He tried to capture Sora, so I put him in a Genjutsu." "Who is Sora?" Naruto then points to the hawk in the sky. Hiruzen then responds, "What kind of Genjutsu?" "I put him in a Genjutsu where he saw himself getting eaten by hawks over and over." "Naruto, why?" "You must do what you can to protect those who cannot protect themselves. I'm sure you understand as Hokage and all." Hiruzen sighs and leaves. Naruto makes more clones to keep practicing his new jutsu. Shisui stays far away as he sees Naruto finally complete the jutsu. Naruto makes all the clones disappear. Fire style, soaring bird. A flaming bird then appears below Naruto's feet that takes him into the sky. He smiles as Sora flies right by his side. Naruto flies across Konoha back to the library. He lands on the ground with more people giving him stares and weird looks. Naruto walks in. Exio then speaks. Well, looks like those books were very useful," pointing at the hawk outside the window waiting on Naruto. Exio turns back to Naruto. "Anything else I can get for you?" "Information on the ninja rank system." Exio hands Naruto a book and Naruto returns the other ones. Naruto leaves and walks outside the building. Sora then lands on his shoulder. He then does the same hand signs over again. Fire style, soaring bird. Naruto takes off into the sky, sitting down, and then Sora sits in his lap. "Don't worry, we're going home so you can get a snack." He rubs Sora's head, and then Naruto goes, "Oh, I almost forgot." He then makes a clone that jumps down on top of the Hokage's building. He then goes in from the window. Hiruzen is surprised by this. "Explain what the ninja system is, Lord Third." "A ninja protects his or her village and helps the people out, and a lot more than that." "Why do you ask?" The clone then says, "Well, what purpose does a ninja have following a child around?" Hiruzen's eyes widen by Naruto's clone, and then Naruto's clone jumps out the window. Hiruzen doesn't know it's a clone. He thinks it's Naruto. and he thinks that Naruto is now trying to kill himself. Hiruzen would try to grab Naruto, but then Naruto falls and then poofs, revealing that he was a clone. Hiruzen then grabs his chest. That boy's gonna give me a heart attack one day. Naruto gets home as he starts to laugh, recovering the memories from his clone. He puts food out for Sora, and the hawk starts to eat. Naruto sits down and reads the book. After a while, Sora leaves out the window. Naruto stretches, finishing the book. Well, I guess I better pay my babysitter a visit. Shisui sits in a tree with his eyes closed. What's your name? He then hears. Shisui jumps back at seeing Naruto in front of him. Well, that blows my cover. Naruto responds. If you wanted to see how strong I was, all you had to do was ask. They both jump down from the tree. Naruto, can you use any other jutsu besides that bird? Naruto then does hand signs, tilting his head up into the air. Fire style, majestic destroyer flame. As a humongous fireball comes out of Naruto's mouth, Naruto walks away. I'll see you tomorrow, you weirdo. The 5-year-old using S-rank jutsu is calling me a weirdo, Shisui would whisper. How ironic. The next day comes. Actually, Naruto goes to school, and Shisui watches him from a distance. Pay close attention, Shisui, though he turns and sees Lord Third behind him. Naruto walks up to throw a kunai and drops it. He goes back to sit down in isolation as usual. Why doesn't he try, Lord Third? He's so strong, and he's a prodigy. Hiruzen then says, I have not figured that out just yet. They look at Naruto, who is smiling at the hawk that is spinning around. Later, sparring would come up. Hiruzen and Shisui would be staring, and Iruka calls Naruto's name. Naruto. Not again. Naruto. Naruto. Naruto looks up, making a clone, while Shisui and Iruka would sigh. Come on, Naruto. Just try for once. Naruto turns his head. And if I decide to try just for this once, you'll leave me alone after, right? Iruka agrees to this. Naruto gets up using a 3-tone Sharingan. He doesn't even give Sasuke a chance. He just runs up, punching him in the stomach, knocking him out from the pure pressure of the hit. Naruto then sits back down. Naruto looks at everyone who is giving him weird glances for taking out the prodigy Uchiha, and then he's like, I'm out of here. He makes a clone that stays in his place and walks home. On his way there, Naruto would see someone training. He walks up to him. Hey, teach me that. Kakashi then looks and walks away. What should I expect? Everyone always hates me. Naruto summons the flying bird and goes home. Kakashi turns around, seeing this, but keeps walking. Naruto gets home and fixes some food. He goes to bed and then wakes up later in the afternoon to see Fugaku and Itachi Uchiha in his house. Naruto Uchiha, we want to test your abilities. Come with us. Naruto follows them to an open area. Naruto walks into an open area where he sees Itachi in front of him, and Itachi throws a blade at him, which Naruto lets hit the ground. Then he turns around, starting to walk away. Fugaku then blocks his path. Pick up the sword and fight, boy. Naruto jumps back. Fire style. Soaring bird. Naruto flies away and goes back to his house. Then he lays down. Shisui then walks in. I'm not gonna force you to fight, but why not, Naruto? Naruto opens his hand and feeds Sora. Because there is no need to fight a battle I cannot win. Itachi is a prodigy who is bred for combat, and I do not enjoy fighting if it is not necessary. I like reading, Shisui. Wait, Naruto. When did you figure out my name? I never told you. A person like you is very known around the Uchiha compound. Naruto walks outside with Shisui. Sasuke then comes up, punching his face. Fight me, Naruto. Naruto turns to Shisui. I don't want to fight. Do I have to? Shisui laughs and leaves in a quick motion. Sasuke then uses fire style, fireball jutsu on Naruto, and then the attack clears and Sasuke gets cocky. Easy. Look at you, laying down defeated. Sasuke then gets silent as Naruto poofs, revealing he was a clone. Naruto then pets Sora as they ride on the flame bird away. I think we should disappear for a while. Everyone here is starting to get on my nerves. He makes a clone that falls down on the Hokage building. Naruto, stop doing that. Hell, man, I'm leaving for a little. The Uchihas are getting on my nerves. The clone then poofs, and Hiruzen lets the boy go, seeing that he will return. But Danto sends root members out. Naruto finds a town, and before he can enter, a root Anbu member would come up in front of him. Come back peacefully, Ninetales. Naruto then laughs. No thanks, but I think I like that outfit you have. It'll be mine now. As if you could, Naruto quickly kicks him up into a tree and then knocks him out, taking his clothes and tying him up, leaving him in his underwear. He then takes his money into town as well. Naruto walks around and eventually finds a clothing shop. He goes in and throws the clothes on the desk. The lady then looks at him with a weird expression. Hey miss, can you fix this for me so it can fit on me? Sure honey, that'll be. Naruto then throws a bunch of coins on the counter. You can keep the rest, all I need is the outfit. Naruto waits for an hour. The lady then comes back. He puts on his new outfit and then looks at the lady and smiles. Thank you so much, I really owe you one. Naruto leaves and starts to walk around some more. He sees a weapon shop and gets the blade sharpened that was from the Anbu member and starts to head back to the village. He sees the man still tied up in the tree. Well, I can't just leave you there. Ha, so you're finally gonna cut me down, you brat. Naruto throws the kunai in the air and jumps up kicking it. The kunai goes through the man's throat, killing him. Naruto then puts the blade on his back. No, you're not coming back to the leaf. Only one will return. Heading back to the leaf, he walks into the Hokage's office. Naruto, where did you get that outfit? I'm not here for that. I know Danzo sent someone after me. I got rid of that problem. I just wanted to let you know. But I'd like to ask you to find me a mentor that can help me learn lightning release jutsu. How do you already know your natures, Naruto? Naruto stops Hiruzen before he can even keep going. Books, Lord Third. Books. Naruto leaves out the window, jumping onto the flame bird. He then goes back home. Who knew power could bring this many problems? Right, Sora? As he lets his bird into the house. Naruto walks inside, and Sora flies around onto the little stand. Naruto would wait all day, but no one would come to train him. Then, night would fall. He has said, I've had enough. Fine, I'll do it myself. Lord Third can't find anyone. Naruto goes into an open area and makes a bunch of shadow clones. They all do hand signs that he learned, and he keeps working on it, but he just can't get it. Naruto makes all the clones disappear. I'm too lazy for this. I'll just do something else. Naruto hears someone else training from a distance. He walks up to that area, staying in the bushes not to be seen. He sees Itachi and Shisui are going at it. Shisui swings his sword, but Itachi disperses and remakes himself with crows. Shisui then uses the body flicker as well. Naruto would stop watching. He goes back to do his own training. What if I could do what Itachi did, but with fire? He then makes a bunch of clones that go in pairs. Naruto will practice these moves for 2 months. It's now the end of the year and Naruto has already turned 6. And he is already a dangerous ninja. Already in the next year has a rough start. A man walks into his house, picking him up and leaving. The real Naruto flips down from the ceiling and follows the man. He appears to be the clan head, and Naruto wakes up being thrown off the shoulders. The clone would poof. The man turns around. I'm guessing you didn't want to talk. No, I need to test how strong you are myself. Naruto sits down. You really are demanding, you know that? Maybe you should rest more. Fugaku then swings his leg and it goes through Naruto's head, and little flames come off of the area. Alright, I'm gonna catch you later, Mr. Clanhead. Naruto bows, walking off. Fugaku tries to punch Naruto, who dodges and kicks his stomach. Jeez, how annoying. Fugaku then grabs his leg. Naruto then swings his other fist, hitting him to the ground. Naruto picks him up by his hair, but Fugaku disappears, and then Naruto is hit with an explosive kunai. And then another. And another. Naruto is confused by this, but they just keep coming out of nowhere. I guess I'll just wait for this genjutsu to be over. How simple. On the outside, Naruto stands still in a manner with tears coming down his face, and he would start to feel major pain. Fugaku and Itachi sit and wait. In the genjutsu, Naruto has been there for a day, so he's had enough. With his kunai stuck in the body, he says, Fire style. Explosion, flame. On the outside, Itachi and Fugaku get away as Naruto glows red and a fire appears around him and it starts to spread and get bigger in size. When they walk back, they see that Naruto is walking out of a huge crater that he created. I'm done. I'm going back home. This is annoying. You don't amuse me. Naruto goes on and gets ready for school. He makes a clone that goes for him, and the real Naruto walks to the Hokage's building, knocking on the door. Come in. He walks in. Ah, Naruto, what can I do? Let me go on missions. And where is this item? He then holds up a picture of Madara's fan. It isn't in our possession as of now, but I can let you go on low-rank missions around the village. I'll do all the ones available, he would say. The Hokage laughs and chuckles. How would you? Just watch and see, old man. Naruto goes on the roof, making 1,000 shadow clones that spread out to do missions. By the end of the day, Naruto has completed at least 500 E-rank missions by himself, saving dogs and cats from different areas and running errands from different people. He goes to the Hokage's office and then gets a bag of money and leaves. Nothing happens for a while, but Shisui still watches the prodigy's daily habits. This happens for 7 more months. Then, one night, Naruto wakes up hearing screams. He puts his stolen Anbu outfit on and goes on outside, seeing what happened. Then he sees a masked man that has the fan that he wants, so he runs at him and stands in front of him. The masked man would speak. Are you here to stop me, Ninetales? No, I could care less about what you're doing. They were becoming a nuisance anyway. But I do want that fan you have, pointing at it. The masked man under his mask, Obito, would smile and throw it at Naruto, who catches. Thanks, I plan to make my ancestors proud, unlike these idiots. The masked man goes off killing more people. Naruto just lets it happen, seeing as the Uchiha were always a problem. Naruto didn't fear for his life as he sees no reason, being a Jinchuriki, and if anyone really wanted to fight him, they would have already. Naruto would come across Itachi and Sasuke. Itachi puts him into a genjutsu and Sasuke passes out. Naruto picks him up and carries Sasuke to the hospital. Naruto leaves the hospital, going back to the Uchiha clan compound. He then makes at least 2,000 shadow clones that go out digging holes and burying bodies. By the morning, he is done. He doesn't go to school because he is summoned at the Hokage's office. When he walks in, he sees the angry Sasuke and Hiruzen. Ah, Naruto, I want to tell you that I feel sorry for you two, that your clan is past. I am very sorry, truly. Sasuke runs out of the room. Naruto then says, I don't really care. He then holds up the fan. At least I claimed what is rightfully mine. Naruto, where did you find it? A long-haired man in a mask gave it to me. He was also killing Uchihas like Itachi. Why didn't you try to stop him, Naruto? And what do you mean by rightfully yours, Hiruzen would say. Naruto then side-eyes Hiruzen while looking at the fan. I knew the Uchihas were going to be taken out one day. They were becoming too wild for the leaf to control, so that's why they had a prodigy, like me, do the job, who was asked to, and he only did it for one reason, for the person he loves to be protected. Isn't that right, Hiruzen? And this fan, well, I am Madara Uchiha's great-nephew, aren't I? Hiruzen then speaks. Don't be crazy, Naruto, you are not. Naruto then continues, well, let's see. The records in the leaf show that Izuna did actually have a son. And what if I wanted to say that after Madara died, the god shinobi took care of him? Naruto then begins to get cocky in his voice. I mean, you should know, Hiruzen. Ayo Uchiha was on your team after all. And then, what if I said later his wife died giving birth to our very own 4th Hokage, pointing at the picture. And then, what if I want to say that I am the 4th Hokage's son? Am I right or am I ingenious, Hiruzen? And I don't worry. I wouldn't worry. I'm going to keep this a secret between us. I'm sure Sasuke doesn't need to know. I'm sure Itachi wants him to be killed by Sasuke so that he can be a hero in the leaf. Hiruzen then takes off his Hokage hat, leaning back in his chair, rubbing his head. Fine, Naruto, you win. That is the truth. You cannot tell anyone as this. Leave now. Naruto turns around at the door and goes into it, but before he leaves, he then says, I think I want to be like Madara Uchiha. He then looks back at the fan in his hand. No, Hiruzen, I want to be better than him. For the rest of the year, Naruto would be training hard every day, while Sasuke's personality would still take a change, and he would train every day as well so he could beat Itachi. Naruto doesn't care. He thinks it's funny how Sasuke chooses to ignore those who care about him. Sasuke, however, hates Naruto because he is so calm. He doesn't like the fact that Naruto acts as if he doesn't care about the clan at all. Naruto trains with his ancestors, Madara Uchiha's fan, getting used to it. Naruto also decides he needs to figure out a way for him to earn the Mangekyo Sharingan. Naruto does do research, seeing as he is 8, he won't be able to handle it, even if he does unlock it. But he still does desire the power, so Naruto gets an idea. So he goes to the Hokage's office. As he is on the way, he feels someone staring at him. It gives him a chill down the spine. He turns around to see no one. Hinata hides quickly behind a tree, breathing heavily. Turning red, she tries to get one more look at Naruto, but he's gone. She then turns back, "You looking for me?" As she turns her head, she slowly looks up, and her chin is lifted by Naruto, who is looking down at her, activating his Sharingan as well. "Do you want this devil to devour you as well?" Hinata then faints and goes unconscious. Naruto laughs, making a clone that would carry her back to the Hyuga clan compound. Then Naruto walks into Hiruzen's office. "What is it now, Naruto?" Naruto sits on his desk. "No need to be so feisty, Hiruzen. I just came to talk about the Mangekyo Sharingan." His eyes then widen. "Naruto, you don't have anyone that you can kill to unlock that because you weren't close with many people. So how do you think you can unlock it?" Naruto then laughs. "I can see why the Uchiha hated it here. You don't understand them at all, or us. And if I really wanted to, as of now, if you were dead, I'm thinking that I could unlock it. And no, I don't want to kill you. I just want to let you know that I'm going to join Danzo's Anbu until graduation. I cannot permit you to do that, Naruto. It is too dangerous." Naruto then has his blade and fan out against Hiruzen's neck. "I'm not asking you, Hiruzen. I'm telling you, so pay attention when I speak. I'm going to find Danzo, and he's going to make me stronger. It doesn't matter what you think or what anyone else thinks." Naruto leaves and goes on his search, later walking into a room where the lights are off and it's pitch black. Suddenly a kunai is thrown at Naruto. Naruto tilts his head, dodging it. Then the kunai would explode because of the tag on it. The Anbu member then walks up. "Weakling. Sure, he really was a lazy prodigy. He should have put in more work so he could have dodged that better." Naruto then comes out of nowhere, picking up the broken pieces of the kunai. "I thought the Anbu were supposed to be silent killers. What are you doing?" The man is shocked, turning to see where the other Naruto was, and he realized that it was a clone. He then feels a sharp pain in his chest and falls back. He dies. Danzo then comes out of the shadows laughing. "Ha! Well, I guess you can fill his spot, so here." He then hands Naruto a fox mask and he puts it on. "Join his team," pointing at a man who is explaining something to a younger person, who almost looks about Naruto's age, but he could be a little bit older. Naruto walks over to the man with an owl mask. "You're new, so make sure you pay attention, and don't become dead weight." The three then head out on a mission. Naruto goes to the man with an owl mask. "What's the mission?" All three of them stop on a branch and he points. "Infiltrate and destroy that base before it can become a new problem for the Leaf." "Hey, I want you to multi-shadow clone jutsu." Naruto doesn't listen. He makes a bunch of clones that surround the area to keep guard. "I'll make sure my clones stay hidden. Let's go from the north, south, and east. We'll meet in the middle." The boy with the bird mask then speaks. "You're not leader. You can't just..." The older man puts his hand up. "No, let's see where this goes." They then follow Naruto's plan. Naruto enters from the south. He walks in and a guard tries to stop him. "Hey, who are you? Leave." Naruto then puts him in a genjutsu and walks past the man lying on the floor and then gets close to him and whispers. The man then stabs himself, dying right there. Naruto keeps on moving, killing people in silence. He then meets up with the other two Anbu members. "Good work," the older man will say. "Now to finish this." They walk into a room seeing at least 300 ninja, or rogue ninja, that they are surrounded by. They then stand back, all of them back to back to back. Naruto and his Anbu members. "Take the boy's fan, we can sell it," the old man would say. Naruto starts to slowly walk at him. The ninja from all around try to hit him, but Naruto phases through all of them with little flames coming off of him. Naruto then gets to the man who has gray hair and is afraid. When Naruto stands in front of him, Naruto grabs him by his beard, pulling him down to his level. Burn in Hades, you worthless piece of life. Fire style, majestic destroyer flame. This attack kills 30 ninjas surrounding and the old man. Naruto then walks out of the flames and stands with his head down in front of the ashes. Naruto tilts his head up, looking at the ninja with lust and showing his Sharingan. And then he tilts his head again to the side. He licks his lips. Beg for your pathetic lives. I am no god who shows mercy. I am. A ninja then interrupts him. He's a devil. We need to run. The man then has Naruto's Anbu sword in his throat. I dislike the sound of your voice. Shut it up. The three Anbu then start to fight off all the ninja, but then the building would start to crumble. Naruto looks at his leader. We need to go, now. No, rookie, we need to finish this mission. Leave this to me. As if I would. Fire style, soaring bird. The other two Anbu would die in the rubble, getting crushed. Naruto flies out on his bird. He reports back to Danzo. So they died. Well, you're on your own for now. I will send for you when it is time. Naruto walks through the village. He sees the same girl that's in his class. She's going back to school. Because Naruto's mission was early in the morning, he decides that he's going to school as well. Naruto walks in to everyone's surprise. Sasuke then punches his stomach, and Naruto doesn't flinch. Fight me, Naruto. Naruto grabs him by his hair, slamming him on the ground face first. Jeez, can you at least train before asking me something like that? Hey, Iruka. Where can I learn to do better genjutsu? Iruka rubs his head. You don't need to know that at the student academy. No, but as a Jinchuriki, I need to be able to protect myself in any way. Naruto makes a clone and then starts to leave. He then looks at Hinata. He walks up the stairs to her. As he would get closer, she would become more red. Then he gets in her face. What's your name? She then faints and Naruto laughs. Huh, she amuses me. I think I'll keep her around. Neji then stands up. No, you will not. Naruto shows the whole class his 3 Tomoe Sharingan. Neji, if you want to stop me, I will kill you right now. And actually, and then he turns to Iruka. I could probably kill everyone in this room without a trace left. Anyways, I'm leaving. You bore me. Naruto throws his hand up and walks out. Sasuke then runs at him. Naruto kicks him back into the classroom. He goes out to the Hokage's office, coming in out of nowhere. Hey, old man, I need someone to teach me genjutsu. Since Shisui and Itachi are gone. Hiruzen then looks through his papers. Go find Kurenai. She has black hair and, red eyes, but she isn't an Uchiha. Naruto then says, of course not, you idiot. She'd be dead then. Hey, respect me, I'm your elder. Naruto then laughs. An elder who doesn't know how to tell the truth. Naruto leaves and scatters clones all over the village. He eventually finds her and poops all the clones. Naruto, a couple minutes later, would appear in front of Asuma, Kurenai, Might Guy, and Kakashi. Train me to create genjutsu. She laughs. You got guts, kid, but let's see how strong you are. Might Guy throws a punch which goes through Naruto's head and little flames come off as he would then reform. I want to train with you, not him. You're the only person that can teach it to me. Kurenai walks off with Naruto and goes to an open area. Naruto turns back to see where she was, but she's gone. Suddenly the sky would turn black and the ground holds him still. On the outside, Naruto is sweating with his eyes closed. Kurenai then speaks. Maybe that was too much for a mere academy student. Naruto then glows red as she gets back. Fire style, explosion flame, as he creates a crater in the ground. Thanks, Miss Kurenai. I understand now. Goodbye. Fire style, soaring bird, as Naruto flies away. He then sees Sora as he gets home. He then holds the board. Sora, let's become a real team. As the bird and Naruto make eye contact, Sora then has 3 Tomoe Sharingan. Naruto goes to sleep. The next day would come as he is assigned a mission early in the morning again. He has to go kill a big group of bandits by himself because his team has already died. So, Naruto goes out putting on his mask as he travels northeast, with Sora following him from the sky. He sits on a branch not too far from the bandit camp. Naruto closes his eyes and says, I hope this works. He then opens his eyes and he is in the sky, flying around. He then scouts the area and then opens his eyes again. He's back on the ground in his body. Naruto goes for a straightforward attack. He walks up slowly into the camp and the guards will come up to him. Naruto cuts their heads off instantly. How I pity them for being weak. He keeps walking and is later surrounded by hundreds of rogue ninja and bandits. You're real funny, kid. If you think you can kill all of us. Naruto looks around. One attack is all I need. Fire style, explosion flame, as he clenches his fist, and this attack incinerates all the ninjas around. Naruto smiles at all the ashes, and he makes shadow clones to clean up the rest. And then, he would return back to the leaf after completing his mission. Naruto goes to Danzo, and then Danzo would speak to him. Good job, Naruto. Take off for a while, and make sure you go to the academy. I plan to make you the leader of your own team after you have a break. Thank you, Lord Danzo. Naruto bows and leaves. He goes to his house and enters. He then sees Sora flying to his arm. You did good, my friend. You deserve a reward. Naruto puts out a lot of food and snacks for Sora to eat, and Naruto would lay down holding up his fan. If I want to be better than Madara, I need to unlock my Mangekyo. But how can I? He sits up, looking at Sora, and then shakes his head going outside. Let's get started. I'm going to learn how to use Wind Release. Multi-Shadow Clone Jutsu. He makes 400 clones, and they work all day. Sasuke from a distance watches Naruto, and when he is done at night, Sasuke comes out of the shadows. Fight me, Naruto. Naruto raises an eyebrow. You never give up, do you? Fine. I need to try out my new jutsu anyway. Sasuke would smirk, and if I win, I get that fan, pointing at it. Naruto punches him, making him fly away. As if I'd let my birthright get owned by someone like you. Sasuke then comes back. Fire style. Fireball jutsu. Naruto grips his fan tighter. Wind style. Kaze Kuru Barrage. Sasuke is hit with a bunch of cuts, making him fall to the ground bleeding. How is he so much stronger than me as he punches the ground? Naruto then kicks him while he's on the ground. Pathetic. How I pity you. Come back when you're actually strong. Sasuke then gets a flashback to when Itachi killed the clan. And then he would unlock his one Tomoe Sharingan. Sasuke in his rage sees the bird. He then throws a kunai at Sora. Naruto vanishes, catching the kunai and snapping it. Naruto then unlocks his Mangekyo as the thought of Sora not being in his life no more. It's the same shape as his great-grandfather, Uzuna Uchiha. Touch him again, and you will die like the trash you are. Fire style. Flame explosion. Sasuke notices that his flame is a bright blue instead of red and orange. Then Naruto passes out before finishing the attack. Side note. Naruto's Mangekyo Sharingan. I'm going to explain them. The left eye transforms his natures into their purest form, making the attacks more devastating, and his right eye allows him to manipulate them into different shapes, kind of like how Sasuke can use the Amaterasu in canon. Back to the story. A Anbu member comes up and takes Naruto, vanishing. Naruto wakes up days later as he sees Danzo staring at him at the end of a bed. Well, what a turn of events. A 7.5-year-old Uchiha unlocking his Mangekyo Sharingan. Well, isn't that a surprise? Danzo noticed the boy is squinting. What's the matter, Naruto? Well, you're kind of blurry, Lord Danzo. Ah, I see. I ban you from using those eyes until you are in a life or death moment. Do you understand? Yes, Lord Danzo. Naruto takes his stuff, leaving the room. He goes to the academy and walks in the room, smiling at Hinata, who turns red, but Neji and Sasuke walk up to him. Fight us, Naruto. They say it together. Naruto grabs his fan, but Iruka holds his hand, stopping him. No, Naruto, not in the classroom. Naruto kicks him into the chalkboard. I never asked for your opinion. He then swings his fan with a little force, and then a strong air current pushes Neji and Sasuke into a wall. Naruto then walks up to Sasuke. You'll never kill Itachi at this rate. Sasuke then starts to cry, but Naruto leaves him alone. He then takes a seat next to Hinata. When the spars come up, Naruto doesn't even get up to fight. Iruka would call his name, but Naruto would be sitting down with his eyes closed. Naruto. It's always with him. Nobody else does this. Naruto. Sasuke then walks up to him. Get up and fight me. Naruto opens his eyes. Sasuke is a little blurry, but he can make it out still. So he closes his eyes again, ignoring him. Sasuke then swings his leg at Naruto, who moves out the way, making him kick the wall. Naruto gets up and stretches and then begins to walk to the circle. Sasuke thinking that they are gonna fight. Well, Naruto just punches Iruka, who falls to his level. Stop calling my name as if you were begging for my attention. Naruto then makes a clone and then he walks off into the village. He gets more stares and glares as he usually does because he carries the fan on him. The boy treats it as an extension of his own life because of the history it has. Naruto goes to the Hokage's office. Naruto, aren't you supposed to? First of all, Lord Third, that place is beneath me. Secondly, I want to go find Itachi. No, Naruto, it's too dangerous, and it actually won't be, because he won't kill me. No, Naruto, just no. They might want the Nine Tails, and then we will become the weakest village once they have it. Naruto bows understanding, and then goes to see Danzo. Rested enough? Yes, Lord Danzo. Naruto takes the scroll and then goes out with Sora. As he jumps from tree to tree, he would make a clone to read to him so he can keep watch. We have to find the snake Sanin and observe his research. Naruto travels for days to an area marked on the map, but when he gets there, he sees the guards outside, so he makes a clone, and that clone does the transformation jutsu, which turns it into a kid. The clone runs around playing in the field. The two men then snatch it up and take it inside. The clone is thrown at Orochimaru's feet. He then says, "Oh wow, a new toy. Are you going to help me with my research, young one? I need you to help me find out how I can become immortal and live forever." The clone tries to run, but Orochimaru stretches his neck, grabbing it. The clone then is trapped, and then he is laid on a table as he is strapped to it. Orochimaru would try to cut the clone open, but it poofs. Orochimaru turns to the guards who brought it in here. "Now you two will become my research because you brought this discretion to me." Writing down everything that has happened, Naruto is already on his way back to the leaf. He then gives the papers to Danzo, who would say, "Good work." For the next month, Naruto keeps doing missions on his own as a solo Anbu member. Then we would skip to today. This is Naruto's birthday, October 10th, and he is called to Danzo's office. Then, when he walks in, Danzo speaks. "Today is your birthday, is it not?" "Yes. Your gift from me is you are now captain of Team Naruto in the Anbu ranking." Naruto gets excited and his eyes glow with passion. "Your first mission as team leader will be tomorrow. Make sure you are not late." Naruto runs around the village with a smile. He then sees Hinata going up to her. She tries to stay calm, but he gets so close to her face. He then says, "Hinata, do you want to get married?" Her face would turn to a tomato, but she nods, as in a yes motion. He then runs home and then lays down on the floor while Sora eats some food. Someone then slides his door open. Naruto sits up. "Geez, do you know what a knock is?" When the door fully is open, his eyes meet Hiashi, Hyuga, Hiruzen, and Hinata. Hiruzen would speak. "Naruto, what are you thinking? Trying to marry a Hyuga?" Hiashi then steps up to him. "I would never let my daughter of a weakling marry someone like you, a beast, a monster, and you will always be that." Naruto looks behind him to see a sad Hinata. Naruto then punches his stomach. "You are the weak one if you think your own flesh and blood will to let you determine who she marries." Hiashi then punches him back. "You want to fight, you brat?" Naruto kicks him outside. "Yeah, and if I win, Hinata's mine, and she will live here with me." Hiashi then gets up. "And once I beat you, you must leave the leaf." Hiruzen tries to speak, but Hiashi says, "Silence." "No, these are the terms." Naruto gets into a fighting stance, and the older man rushes at him. Naruto dodges his right hand attack by getting on his side. Naruto then puts chakra into his leg, kicking him high into the air. When he falls down, Naruto kicks him again. The Hyuga clan head then uses his Byakugan. Naruto laughs. "What a waste of energy." Naruto then uses 3 Tomoe Sharingan. The Hyuga clan head just can't keep up with Naruto, and then he walks to him while he's on the ground. Looks like I win, you old fart. Naruto tries to walk away, but the Hyuga clan head would grab his leg. And then he turns and says, I really do pity you, old man, but I show no mercy to any of my opponents. Fire style. Explosion. No, Naruto, it's fine. Hinata holds onto his sleeve as he pats her head. Fine, you get off easy on this one. Hiashi then gets up trying to hit Hinata. Naruto throws her to Hiruzen, and then he activates his Mangekyo. Fire style. Explosion flame. Hiruzen runs away fast as a blue flame swarms the area in a circular-like motion, and then when Hiruzen comes back, he sees Naruto laying on the ground with no shirt, and he is burned. The older Hyuga also has scars all over the backside of his body from the attack. Naruto then gets up, walking to him, squatting down once again. His eyes then meet him. I am the truth of this world, and deny my word is like denying the purest form of a god. Naruto then looks at his house, which is destroyed. His vision is worse than before, but he walks to Hiruzen. Naruto, what was that? Not now. I need access to all the money I've earned. Hiruzen nods, leaving Hinata with him. Naruto then uses the rest of his reserves on 3,000 shadow clones. They all going into the leaf buying parts for the new house repairs, and Danzo's root members leave the area reporting this to Danzo. We left off with Naruto buying materials for his new house, and he won the fight to marry Hinata. Night falls and he is done building the house, so he gets ready for bed. Hinata is nervous. Living with Naruto is very new for her, and she already has a crush on him, making her even more shy. Naruto is in the kitchen cooking for them as a hawk flies in through the window, and it goes to Naruto's shoulder. Naruto, watch out, Hinata would say. Naruto smiles and walks over to her with the hawk on his shoulder. This is my loyal friend, Sora, the sky lion of the hidden leaf. He is my other set of eyes. Oh, hi there, Sora. The bird flies around her as he starts to smile and laugh. Naruto goes back to cooking. He likes you, Hinata. Yeah, I think so too. They eat the food, and then Naruto lays on the bed in a room, and Hinata sleeps in the guest room until she is used to living there. Naruto tells her before going to his room, I'll be gone in the morning, so I'll have breakfast out for you. The morning comes and Naruto leaves early. He meets with his new team at the gate as he sees 4 people waiting on him. The tallest man standing there is named Lakra. The shorter kid is Sai. The younger man is Yamato. And the last person is a boy named Shoni. Now, back to the story. Sai speaks. Are we sure we can trust him? Have you even heard the rumors? Shoni responds. Yeah, I heard he's called the Red Devil of the Leaf. Naruto then walks up behind him, putting his hand on his shoulder and reaching out for Yamato to hand him the scroll. He puts it in his bag and bows. I will do my best to keep you alive, but if you become dead weight, I will get rid of you. They then head off. Naruto makes a clone, reading the scroll as they jump from tree to tree. We have to go kill more rogue ninja, and they are Jonin level, so don't. Sai interrupts him. I think that bird is trailing us. I'm going to get rid of it. Naruto then slams his head into the ground. Do it and I'll end everyone right here, and that pathetic village you call home. Sora is the Leaf's sky lion. He is our ally. Do not touch him. He lets Sai go, and they will continue on their path. Shonin whispers to Sai, it's just dumb. What could a bird do that I can't do? Hey, shut your trap. We arrived. Now it's time. What's this? Yamato says. This is their base. It's fortified with Earth-style jutsu, and so we have to kill all of them. Sai speaks. There's way too many outside. Shoni continues. Yeah, plus we don't know about inside. Shut your mouth. If you're scared, I'll do it myself, like I always have. Naruto then closes his eyes. He then uses Sora's eyes, seeing everything. Naruto then sends the bird home, reopening his eyes to show the Sharingan. Lakra, the oldest man, is very surprised by this. Look at that. Our eyes flew away. Shoni mocks. Naruto then says, I'm going from the south. Yamato, I can trust you to go from the northeast by yourself. Sai and Shoni come from the northwest, and Lakra, You take the east. Sai and Shoni go to the northwest and kill all of the ninja that they see, and they would meet in the middle. Naruto goes off with quick speed. Everyone is able to reach the middle, but a couple of people. Sai and Shonin are not there. Naruto then sees the two struggling, but they still manage to kill the three ninjas that they were fighting. A small child looking around starts to talk. Dada, where are you? Did you go to get food again? Sai and Shoni stop, as they are not about to kill a kid. Out of nowhere, out of the shadows, the kid is kicked by Naruto. Captain, why? A couple of seconds later, the child explodes, revealing that there was an explosive kunai on his back. Naruto then picks it up. If you want to die so bad, I can make your dream a reality. The reason we came here is to take out the terrorists who have no regard for life. Sai speaks, and are you any better? Naruto glares at him. I don't live in this world. My mind is astronomical. I understand many complex things that others could not even fathom. But I do hold love in my heart for two people. And to reach my goals, I must crush those in my way and have no mercy or do not hesitate. They must all be punished for the sins they commit in this world. Naruto then clenches his fist as it starts to bleed. That is why I am called the Red Devil of the Leaf. What is your goal then, Captain? Shonin says. Naruto smirks and gets a deranged smile and filled of lust in his eyes. I want to honor my ancestor and his elder brother, becoming the strongest Uchiha to ever live and create this world of truth. Now, let's move on and find Lakra and Yamato. They need us. Yamato is in a different room, struggling against ninjas. Naruto uses great speed, grabbing him and throwing his body to the two boys. Take a break. Captain's orders. I got this fight. There, Shoni then speaks. Where's Lakra? Naruto then puts his headband down. He probably died. Naruto pulls off the fan off his back. Wind style. Air slash. As a row of ninja are pushed into the wall or cut in half. But Naruto keeps walking forward. Sai then yells at, watch out. The attack goes through Naruto as he kicks the ninja away. What scum, using a child to kill. I show no mercy to anyone. So take a deep breath, you worthless animals. It's an honor to be killed by my hands, descendant of the god Shinobi. He looks at his team. Leave now or die. They quickly escape, but they had time to look for Lakra, but they couldn't find him. Then, when they are outside, they see a fire, and then a crater. Naruto starts to walk out, as the whole place has been disintegrated. Then Yamato looks at him. Naruto then says, good work, you didn't get in my way, but looks like someone died. Shoni then responds, what was that attack? It's a self-destructive jutsu I made on my own. That's what I mean when I could destroy the village or anyone near me. Well, now you know to watch out. Let's get to the village. How do you plan to do that? We're so far, we can't get there in a day. Fire style, soaring bird. A bigger bird of flames then appears below their feet, carrying them. Naruto lays on his back, and Shonin opens his mouth again. Before he can speak, Naruto says, if you ask another question, I will break your legs and make you crawl home. They then would arrive to the leaf a couple hours later. Naruto would go to meet with Danzo. Good work. I expect nothing less from Izuna Uchiha's great-grandson. The other people in the room are confused. Danzo notices this. Naruto, you may leave. You three, stay here. Naruto closes the door. You all look shocked. Who is Uzuna Uchiha, you might ask? He is the little brother of the great Madara Uchiha, Naruto's great uncle. That boy is a pure prodigy who will become one of the strongest, no matter what he faces. Naruto walks around the village, saying, I can't wait to go home and see Hinata. Naruto stops after seeing a beautiful crescent moon necklace, and then decides to buy it for her. Hey, how much will that moon one in the middle be? I'm gonna get it for someone special. The man would laugh. I like you, kid. It'll just be 6,000 Rio. I hope your girlfriend likes it, he says, teasing Naruto. Thank you. I'll make sure to come back and tell you how it goes. Naruto walks around, almost gaining more respect because of how hard working he is and how much of a prodigy he has become. But the atmosphere is really suspicious to Naruto. So he finally starts to walk home, and on his way there, he sees footprints leading up to his house. So he starts to walk a little bit quicker, moving faster and faster up the road. He then gets a nervous feeling in his stomach. He doesn't want to use Sora's eyes because he wants to see it with his own, using himself. He doesn't know what could have happened, but he moves quickly, trying to get closer and closer to the house. It feels like this walk has been going on for 3 hours, but he doesn't know. Then he keeps moving, seeing as this might be the last time he might see Hinata. He doesn't like the tracks that he's seeing. They're small. He remembers that. They weren't too big, and he's seen those shoe prints before. He just can't put his finger on it right now because he's stressing out. Then Naruto quickly arrives home. At home, Naruto slides the door open quickly, but the place is trashed. There's no sign of Hinata, and there's a note on the ground. Naruto then falls to his knees with failure state of mind. He starts to read the note. Dear Naruto, Dear Naruto, I, Sasuke Uchiha, have captured the woman you love, and now I will do whatever I want with her until you train me to get stronger to kill my brother. The clock is ticking. Find me deep in the woods of Konoha. Naruto looks at the bottom of the paper to see a little bit of blood and Hinata's hair. Oh, who's gonna pay for this one? He then clenches his fist. Sora flies into his arm. No, my friend, you cannot come. I cannot risk you dying. Naruto goes off, leaving his sword on the ground, only carrying his fan. Sasuke, in the middle of woods, has Hinata tied up to the ground. You worthless Hyuga, you know that? Naruto will come save me. Sasuke gives off an evil laugh. He didn't even try to save his own blood. What makes you any different? Hinata starts to cry, but then she forces what little chakra she has into her Byakugan. She then quickly sees Naruto, but she sees him doing a swinging motion. She then gets a quick flashback to the day in the class when he attacked Neji and Sasuke, so she ducks down. Are you that afraid of me, Hyuga? Sasuke is then hit into a tree as the air slice cuts all the other trees down in the area. Now you can finally train. He activates his eyes. Naruto then stays in base mode, not activating his Sharingan. He walks over to Hinata, untying her, picking her up, and starting to walk away. You can't just leave fire style, fireball jutsu, Sasuke would say. Naruto puts Hinata on his shoulder, making her red. Then he holds out his right hand, wind style, Fujin's shield. Hinata flinches, thinking that the flames were going to hit them, but she looks up to see that the fireball was being dispersed by a huge shield of wind. Sasuke then rushes at Naruto, who evades. Naruto then makes a clone and walks off. He then says, break his arm for me, he's becoming a nuisance. Hinata rests her head on Naruto's chest. Smiling, Naruto looks up at the sky. This is the price of the power that I have in this cursed bloodline, but I will create my world of truth. He then hears Sasuke scream from afar. Deserves him right. Naruto walks into his house. Hinata, I do not trust him. So, from now on, when I go on missions, I will leave 3 clones here as your bodyguards. And if you are in real danger, one will disappear, alerting me of the situation no matter where I am, and I will get here as fast as possible. She nods, and Naruto wipes the tears off of her face. I promise to protect you with my life. And the clones will train you to be stronger so that brat can't even defeat you if he comes back. They both walk into town as he leaves clones there to clean up the house. They go to eat ramen, and then when they sit down, a man walks up, sitting next to Naruto, and he has white hair. Side note, you may be wondering why Pervy Sage of all people is here at this time in this timeline. He had to go check on his grandchild after hearing all these rumors about him and doesn't want him to go on a dark path. Back to the story. Naruto eats his noodle and then says, took you long enough, you pervert. Well, how did you know it was me, Naruto? I read a lot, and I read one of your books. Such a pervert. My name was in it, or should I say the name of the hero who I was named after. Since Minato is my father, it makes sense that his sensei named me out of respect. Plus, your aura gave it away, but I do enjoy reading your books. Jiraiya grins, and then he says, "Who is the girl?" Hinata blushes. "That is my wife, Hinata Hyuga." His eyes widen. Naruto smirks and says, "You missed a lot, so are you going to stay here or leave and go on one of your researches again?" "I just came to make sure you haven't taken the wrong path." Naruto laughs. "The path I've chosen is truth of this disgusting world, and I will eventually become its savior." Because even in the darkest places of my life, he turns to Hinata. A light will shine through. Making her smile, he then gets up, pays for the food, and Hinata follows him, putting her arm around his as they walk with Jiraiya. "Hey Toad Sage, look up." Jiraiya looks up at the sky to see the hawk who stares at him. "Wait, Naruto, does that hawk have..." He then looks back at Naruto to see his 3 Tomoe Sharingan. Naruto smiles. Sora is his name. He's the Leaf Sky Lion. They arrive at Naruto's house. Hinata goes to take a bath. "It's been a long day, old man." "She's very shy, Naruto." "Well, she's probably on edge because she was just kidnapped today." "By who?" "The other Uchiha brat, Sasuke, but I dealt with them. Now he has one less arm." "That's too far. I do as I please. And my father didn't even tell you who he really was. Or did he?" "No, my student did keep his secrets," Jiraiya would say. "And that is why the fool lived a life of lies. Just know I am a descendant of Madara and Izuna Uchiha, the 2 heroes of my clan. But you know the rest." Jiraiya gets up. "Come fight me." Naruto takes his fan off the wall. They both go outside. Jiraiya runs and kicks at Naruto, who disappears. Then birds swarm him, trying to kill him. He breaks the genjutsu quickly. "Good. No, I'm great. Wind style. Actually, never mind. I'm done." "Why is that?" Sasuke then punches Naruto with his other arm that isn't broken. "You broke my arm, you idiot." "No, you did that yourself." Naruto then kicks Sasuke in the same arm that was broken. He screams in pain. Jiraiya is shaken up by the cruelness of Naruto. But Naruto then walks at him. Devil's Throne. Sasuke then falls asleep into the genjutsu. Jiraiya gets behind him. Devil's what? A genjutsu. He wants to be stronger, or that's what he always preaches. This would definitely give him the power that he wants. But I can't make him stronger. He'll have to train for that. Naruto walks off, leaving him on the ground. There, Sasuke is sent to a hospital for 3 days. When the 3rd day is up, his arm is wrapped up and he has no emotion in his eyes, but he is way more calm. Sasuke leaves the hospital, walking to Naruto's house. He enters and Naruto smiles. Hinata hides behind him, being scared. "You saw it, huh, didn't you?" Naruto would say. "I want to live in this world of truth that you say you can create, but I still want to avenge our clan." Naruto puts his hand on Sasuke's shoulder. "Well, there you go then." Naruto points to the upstairs because his house is now 2 stories because of the clones rebuilding it. And there's a room for Sasuke. Sasuke would walk in. Then he looks around and turns back to Naruto, showing his 2 Tomoe Sharingan. Naruto walks to him and whispers, "If something ever happens to Hinata while I'm gone, I will kill you myself." Naruto goes back to his room and Jiraiya is sleeping in the guest room. For over the next month and a half, Naruto trained Sasuke and Hinata to get stronger and improve their ability at combat. Jiraiya, the next day, had left, but he will return one day. By the time it is winter, and it is cold and snowing in the Leaf, Naruto tells both of them that he will be gone for a couple of days and for them to look out for each other until he returns. Naruto and his team set out to go kill a clan near the Water Village port, and Team Naruto heads out moving fast in the night sky. Naruto is way more cautious than usual. "Hey, Shoni, duck down." As he does, wires cut a piece of his mask. "I thought as much. Well, looks like we'll have to fight. Or actually, Yamato, quick!" Yamato uses a wood dome to protect them. "We need to leave this area." We must be close to the clan's hiding spot, so there's traps set up, or they're doing this all right now. Captain, I can dig us a hole with earth release, Shoni would say. Do it. I'm going to support Yamato. Sai, stay on guard. Wind style. Fujin's barrier. As wind would circle around the wood dome on the outside, Shoni pops back out of the hole. Done. Good. All of you go. I will be last, Naruto says. Yamato and Sai follow Shoni in the hole as they wait in the new area for a couple of minutes, but then Naruto comes out of the hole. He pulls himself up and then pops his dislocated shoulder back into place. What a pain. I don't think we can beat them in a close area like that. They have too much of a home field advantage. This clan is known for stealth. Well, let's keep it moving. Yamato walks up to his captain as they travel. Yes, Yamato? So, we had to kill off another clan from history? That doesn't seem so, right? Yes, this clan is a threat to all Kage and all nations. They could kill a leader without anyone even knowing. Plus, that is such a nuisance to deal with. He points at nothing. Look in front of us. Shoni tries to say something, but Naruto throws him at the location, and then he bounces off of nothing. Let's go kill them. Naruto uses wind to breach the barrier. If you leave any alive, I will kill you myself, seeing as you will do treason. Naruto heads out, destroying everything in his way. His team does the same, but Shoni gets slashed in the chest by a black smoke. What was that? He touches his chest to see a lot of blood. You think you can kill off the Ash clan head so easily? What a joke. As he turns, another cloud of smoke appears and then cuts him. Yamato comes up for support, but he can't handle. He will try to use a wood dome, but the smoke leaks through and cuts them. Sai is with Naruto. They are killing more members of the clan. Sai, go help those idiots. I can see with Sora right now that they are not doing so well. Sai runs off in the direction that Naruto points to. As he sees a dark cloud, he tries to paint animals, but they go straight through the smoke. All of you are weak and will die for coming here. The mysterious dark cloud then rushes at him, and before it attacks, Naruto blocks it, saving his team with a windshield. Guess I'll take this guy a little serious. Naruto grabs his fan, wind style, atmospheric pressure, as the wind pushes the dark cloud to the ground, slamming it. The cloud then forms a man with purple hair and a dark outfit. What is this? I can't move. Naruto walks up to him, squatting down, still keeping his left hand pointed down to the ground. What trash. I am the truth of this world, and this is the pressure of my words that will bring liberation to this wretched place you live in. Now be set free by your savior. Naruto waves his other hand down as the man is pushed deep into the ground, further and further to where you can't see him anymore. Naruto then turns back to his team, who was looking at him in shock. Naruto's team would look at him after witnessing his full power on display. But Naruto only has one thing on his mind, and that is to get home. So that is what they do. Returning to the leaf, they all do a quick report to Danzo and go on about their day. Naruto slides the door open and sees Sasuke with the cast on and Hinata feeding him. Sasuke then speaks. How was the mission? I am not allowed to speak on that. This is private information only belonging to the leaf. Typical Uchiha, letting the leaf control him. Naruto gets closer. Don't forget, I'm the reason the village isn't taking over this place. Me and the fox could destroy it any day of the week. You must not have already done all your research, Naruto, because the fox hates us Uchihas, and you're directly related to the one he hates the most. Why don't I go see for myself then, Sasuke? Naruto tries to enter his mindscape where Kurama is, but the fox is blocking his signal, so he can't do that. What a pain. It doesn't matter. He too will know my world of truth. Naruto makes a clone and then grabs Hinata, taking her into town while leaving the clone by himself with Sasuke. What do you want to eat, Hinata? Before she can speak, someone from behind is yelling at them. When they turn around, they see Sakura. Where is Sasuke? I checked in his apartment, but he isn't there, and all his stuff is gone. Do you know Naruto? He lives with his family now, where he belongs. And he has chosen to join me in my path of truth in this world of darkness. Why would he live with a monster? Naruto is already towering over her, and with his Sharingan active. Monster, no, I prefer the Red Devil. And I think one day I'm gonna make you pay for your sins as well. She falls down on the ground to where Naruto laughs and continues to walk with Hinata. I know what I want to eat now, she says. What is it? Ice cream. Naruto smiles. They go to the shop and then Naruto goes to order. He then returns with the ice cream and they take a shortcut on their way home, but 6 older Hyugas come around them. They start to harass Hinata. Oh, the failure Hyuga likes other failures. Makes sense. She's the trash of the clan. She can't do anything right. She must love monsters like the brat. Naruto is used to the hatred because of his whole life, but he could turn to Hinata and see the sadness on her face because she has her head down. And he catches a glimpse of a tear off her face falling to the ground. And right as it hits the ground, it awoken something in Naruto. His hatred. Shut your filthy mouth, he would say. What did you say to me, brat? The older Hyuga would say. Naruto punches him in his stomach. Let me dumb it down for you if you didn't hear me the first time. If I ever see you make her cry again. He then breaks the man's arm. And he screams, I will end your pathetic life and kill your family. The other Hyugas surround Naruto, but he laughs. What's so funny, one would say. Naruto makes a clone that carries Hinata away. Fire style. Explosion flame. A small crater is created in the area near a lake, and the Hyugas are burned. Where was all that charisma you had from before? Naruto says, and he continues. Did the Red Devil somehow silence you? Of course I did. You could not bear the truth, and now you will be purged from this world. As if I die from a brat like you, a Hyuga would get up, activating his Byakugan. Naruto laughs and takes his fan off his back. The Hyuga rushes at him, but Naruto quickly does signs and puts his hand out. Before the strike even hits him, wind blocks the attack. The Hyuga is repelled backwards into a tree. Naruto walks up to him, putting his hand out, and then he pushes it forward him as he says, Fire style, flame of truth. Naruto's hand pushes the flame at him, which spreads around his body. Then the flame disperses, and the Hyuga is gone. No trace left, not even ashes. The other Hyuga run away in fear, and Naruto goes home. He slides the door open, seeing Hinata sleeping on the couch, and he puts up his fan. Then he lays down in her lap, falling asleep. But when he opens his eyes, he's laying in water, on the ground. He looks up to see nothing but darkness. He then hears a voice. Brat, how dare you harbor me with that accursed blood flowing through your veins? I should consume you right now. Naruto sits up with no emotion on his face, looking at a gate with an orange, 9-tailed fox inside. Naruto then stands up, dusting himself off, saying, Just the being I wanted to see. I wanted to meet you, fox. Now tell me all the knowledge you know of this world. Brat, do not order me around, and why should I? Naruto smirks, walking up to the cell, placing his hand on the paper seal that is right there. Because you get a reward of using my body to roam the earth once again. You're crazy. No human in their right mind would rationally think like that. Says the beast in a cage with nothing to do all of eternity until I die. I just have 3 rules if you do agree to my statement, however. Kurama looks curiously. First, do not use my body to destroy the village unless we choose to do so as an agreement. Second, do not kill if not necessary. What about the final rule, you brat? Naruto looks down, clenching his fists, and then looks back up at the fox. The last rule is one that determines your fate in this world. I know I have done my research. I cannot kill a tailed beast, but I do know they feel pain. Do not touch Hinata Hyuga, or I will make you suffer in my world of truth. Kurama ponders this idea in his head, but Naruto starts to rip off the seal, not even waiting for an answer. The fox then gets enraged. Fourth Hokage! He puts his hand on Naruto's shoulder, and then Naruto is seen in a different room with the 4th Hokage who speaks. You're probably... Naruto cuts him off. I thought you look a bit taller, father. So you know about me, Naruto, but how? Well, everyone should know, the grandson of Uzuna Uchiha, and the father of the savior of this world of warfare. What do you mean, Naruto? Naruto tells him everything that happened. Well, I see. I can't tell you how to live your life. No matter what decisions you make, my son, your father will always love you. Naruto smiles. Thanks, but there is something I need to ask of you. What? Go ahead. We then see Naruto back at the cage. Do we have a deal? Fine, it doesn't matter. Another human who wants to use my powers for their own gain. Use your powers? Don't make me laugh, you beast. Naruto jumps on his head, activating his Sharingan, making the tail beast cower. I want you to be set free into my world of truth as well. Kurama tells Naruto all the shinobi history, and Naruto would keep his end of the deal by releasing the fox from the cage. After this, Naruto wakes up. Hinata is cooking and Sasuke is out training. Naruto feels different, more aware. He feels like he can sense the people around him, like he can see their auras. Not like the Byakugan, but he can just feel their chakra. Sleeping Beauty has arrived. Naruto throws an Anbu sword at Sasuke. What's this for? Naruto then starts to go back inside. Learn how to use it. I'll give you a month. After a couple of days, Sora flies into the house while they are eating breakfast. He then goes to Naruto's shoulder. Ah, my friend. I see you have a message for me. Let's take a look. Naruto takes off the note on Sora's leg and then goes into his room, starting to change into his Anbu outfit. He then grabs his fan off the wall. I will be back. You two make sure to stay safe. Sasuke then replies, what about the sword? I don't need such a thing. All my trust goes into this fan. Naruto leaves, making 5 clones to guard around the area of his house. He keeps traveling to the checkpoint that was in the note, and then he arrives to see all of his team. Let's go. We need to move quickly. Naruto's team keeps dashing through the forest with no breaks. Shoni then speaks up. What's the mission? It's not a mission. There's a high possibility we won't complete it, or worse. Yamato and Sai then give off a more cautious aura after hearing this. Naruto then continues. We are going against the snake Sanin, Orochimaru, and his Sound 4, plus another ninja that he has that we have no information on. They travel in silence the rest of the way and eventually would reach the hideout. Naruto closes his eyes, reopening them as he is high in the sky, using Sora. Sora then moves around in a spinning motion, dodging a kunai, and then a flurry of kunai coming at the bird. Sora won't be able to dodge this, so Naruto swoops in, grabbing him. Sora, go home fast. I will cover you. Fire style, majestic destroyer flame. Naruto's team, on the meanwhile, is entering the hideout. During the distraction, Yamato leaves, knowing that their captain is busy. Someone then steps out of the shadows. Some new lab rats. As they would see the man himself, Orochimaru with the Sound 4, and a curious man with glasses. The Sound 4 then rush at them, seeing as they will die without their captain. But as they get close, Naruto busts down from the ceiling using a giant piece of tile to crush Jirobo. Naruto stands, pointing his fan at Orochimaru. I've come to kill you. So, get ready, because now this devil will make you beg for mercy as you are purged into the world of truth. Orochimaru laughs at him, and then Naruto gains a slit in his eyes. Under his breath, Naruto whispers, Go easy, Kurama. Naruto whispers, Go easy, Kurama. The fox sitting beside Naruto smirks. I show no mercy, boy. Now let me have control so I can show you true strength. Naruto, on the outside, gains a 1 tail and a red aura. Orochimaru would smirk. You will become the first test subject, you beast. He extends his neck trying to bite Naruto, but he dodges. Naruto then kicks him back, and a man with glasses tries to stab Shoni, but he blocks and breaks the sword with the earth style, and then shouts, What's the plan, Captain? Naruto bounces off the ceiling, dodging Orochimaru again. Stay alive and try to kill everyone else. So, Yamato and Sai, you guys handle that. I'll take out these ones. So, let's go over these fights. First, we have Naruto versus Orochimaru, Jirobo, and Kidomaru. Naruto ducks down, dodging a swing from Jirobo. Wind style, Fujin's push. Wind then smashes the three into a wall. Naruto then walks to Jirobo, swinging his fan. Die. A sharp-edged wind flies at him. He tries to dodge, but his arm gets caught and is cut off. He then falls in pain. Orochimaru bites Naruto's neck, but he poofs. When he turns around looking up at the ceiling, he sees Naruto. Fire style, Majestic Destroyer Flame. This burns Orochimaru and Jirobo, but Orochimaru crawls out of his mouth, and then Naruto says, "That will be a problem." Naruto looks for the third one, and before he knows it, Kidomaru had already shot his shoulder and pinning him up to the ceiling. Naruto rips it out, and blood starts to leak. Naruto vanishes, rushing at Kidomaru. Meanwhile this was going on, there is a fight of Yamato, Sai, and Shoni versus Tayuya, Sakon, and Yukon. Let's go over this one as well. Sai is able to distract them with ink lions that blinds them for a minute. This gives Yamato time to trap up Tayuya in a wood strangle jutsu. Shoni would then speak, being arrogant. Good, now we got two more. Yamato's eyes widen. Shoni, look out. As he turns, he is stabbed with the kunai by Kabuto in his chest. He falls to the ground, and Naruto would see this from his fight. Kicking Kidomaru away, he runs, catching Shoni. Captain, I'm sorry. Naruto starts to cry. Don't be, you did good. Naruto makes a clone that takes him to the leaf. Naruto then turns to Orochimaru, not using a one-tail anymore. His eyes start to bleed and change shape. Yamato, Sai, leave. They do so, and Orochimaru steps back, getting a little shook up by him. Fire style, explosion flame, as he clenches his fist. Orochimaru would start to run from the blue flame. Naruto destroys the hideout and a crater is created. He then punches the ground, seeing as Shoni has probably died. Orochimaru will try to stab him while he is off guard, but Naruto breaks the kunai, showing off his black Susanoo. He then looks at the sky as it rains. Shoni, I'm sorry. Orochimaru would then start to retreat, seeing the Susanoo. He releases the Susanoo and then starts to walk back to the leaf. He arrives and goes home. When he gets there, he doesn't speak to Hinata or Sasuke. He just goes into his room and starts to cry. Days later, at nighttime, he then goes out of the house. He goes to a cemetery and then sees it. Shoni's grave. He then falls to his knees. It's my fault. I know it. I should have been smarter as a leader. Kakashi would walk out of the shadows. I know how you feel. And I've been there myself. Naruto doesn't speak. He just has tears rolling off of his face. The only thing you're doing right now is crying. That won't stop your pain. Just be stronger the next time and don't let it happen again. Kakashi walks off and Naruto lets this sink in. He then takes out a kunai, stabbing his hand. He then puts his hand on Shoni's grave. I promise to avenge you, my fallen comrade. Naruto goes home. Seeing Sasuke sleeping, he wakes him up as he picks him up and then throws him outside. What's your problem? Naruto kicks him and he dodged. Good, now take this. Throwing the Anbu sword that he gave Sasuke. Naruto then takes out his fan. Let's spar. The two spend all night until the morning, fighting. Naruto, in the morning, would go to see Danzo, returning his Anbu clothes and mask. I expected this from you, seeing as this happened. Good work. Not all can survive from that type of mission. Naruto then starts to leave, and as he stands in the door, he speaks. This is not the last time I will wear that outfit, and when I am strong enough, I'm going to avenge him using his mask. Naruto closes the door. He then looks at the sky, wondering if Shoni made it to what the common people call heaven. He then walks to his grave once more, dropping off a blue flower. Hey Shoni, I'm going to create a world that you would want to live around and jump, mess around, and love. Anything that you would have done could have been done in this world, and I will kill that man with all the strength I have. Hiruzen then walks to him. This is strictly why I wanted to forbid you from joining the Anbu. Naruto then chuckles, looking at his hand. You know, I can barely see my hand. So now, I have a favor to ask you, turning to Hiruzen. Naruto is then hospitalized for weeks and weeks. One day, he sits up, ripping off the bandages from his eyes. Years pass, and Naruto and Sasuke train. The boys are now 11, and soon it will time for them to take the exams to become real ninjas. The boys would skip school that day because they are training in the woods. Sasuke dashes behind a big tree doing hand signs. Naruto then takes his fan off his back. On the other side, Sasuke appears saying, "Fire style, fireball jutsu." Naruto blocks with his fan and then walks towards Sasuke, who stands on a branch. Naruto throws his fan, who Sasuke ducks under. Once the fan gets high enough, it transforms into Naruto. My turn. Wind style, storm scythe. As a sharp wind and lightning scythe appears in Naruto's hand, Sasuke then jumps back trying to dodge. More and more of the area every time Naruto swings is cut, and every time it creates a shockwave. Then Naruto clashes with Sasuke, and they both are flung into trees. Then Sasuke gets a running start, stabbing Naruto, who then poofs. Sasuke turns in a slow motion, seeing him right behind him, face to face. I've won this. Wind style, atmospheric pressure. As Sasuke falls to the ground, unable to win the battle. Naruto then lets him go, and the two boys move around the leaf. Sasuke, get ready, because we gotta make sure we're on the same team. Sasuke is curious. Naruto then says, I'm gonna fail, so I need you to be at the top of the class. Sasuke then nods as they enter their house, and then they see Hinata. And, Hinata, you need to be in the middle of the class. So for the next couple of weeks, these three try to maintain their respective levels in the class, and then they keep training hard so no one will actually know their true strength. But they all do have different goals. Hinata wants to get strong enough so that she can change the Hyuga clan's ways. Naruto wants revenge on Orochimaru and the man with glasses. And Sasuke still wants to kill Itachi and find answers. Naruto gets them up to speed, helping them learn new jutsu and taijutsu styles. He makes sure Sasuke would work on his sword technique so he can keep up in battle. Naruto also wants to give Sasuke the Mangekyo, but he knows that for now, Sasuke is still a loose cannon, so if he tells him the truth, he might destroy the leaf, because that is how he felt. So, Naruto, for his own training, puts himself in Genjutsu, where he is reliving the day that Shoni died. So when it comes to time to avenge him, Naruto can keep a level head, and he would play out different situations where Orochimaru and the man with glasses would taunt him of his death. Other things Naruto would do to train is fight Kurama in his mind, because the fox enjoys toying with the boy, and he never goes easy on him. Months of training pass, and these three have gotten much stronger. Now comes the times for the exams to become the ninja. Naruto fails, Sasuke is still the top of the class. And that night, Naruto is on his way home, bringing a bag of stuff for dinner, when he saw the man running past him with a scroll. He makes a clone that takes his stuff home, and he follows the man. When he catches up to him, he sees him. What are you doing, Mizuki-sensei? Oh, well, if it isn't the fox that everyone hates so much. Naruto then laughs at him, gaining a slit in his eye. My turn, brat. Mizuki would be shaken up by this, because this doesn't sound like Naruto at all. He then tries to run, but his head is cut off by Kurama, and Naruto returns the scroll as he sees Hiruzen in the office. Ah, thank you, Naruto. Well, old man, I guess you can let me pass for that then. I'll think about it. The next day, Hinata and everyone is announced to be on Team 7. Team 7 on this timeline will be Naruto, Sasuke, and Hinata. It worked out just like Naruto's plan. Sakura is on Team Kurenai. The three then wait on their sensei, who comes in late. As he walks in the door, Naruto makes eye contact with him. He sees Kakashi. They both know what is going to happen next. And then Kakashi takes them out to do the bell test. He then first backs up, knowing their strength. Fire style, fireball jutsu, Sasuke would say, and Kakashi slides to the right. Hinata is then seen flying at him with high speeds, closing one of his chakra points. Kakashi then steps back, knowing he needs to try a little bit more harder, and then he shows off his Sharingan. Naruto laughs as all of them activate their dojutsu, and Kakashi is shocked. And then he needs to think quickly in order to win. Naruto and Sasuke rush at him, doing combo attacks, so they both move out of the way, and then an air palm is flying at him. Kakashi is able to dodge, just barely, but then he turns around, being shocked as the tree is knocked over. You guys pass with flying colors. Your teamwork is amazing. All three then bow, going off in the same direction to their house. For a couple of weeks, the team does low-rank missions around the Leaf and other towns. Then, Naruto will go up to Kakashi. Sensei, let's go on a high-rank mission. That's a good idea, Naruto. We need to see where we are in skill and what we are capable of in the real world. They then will go to the Hokage's office. Hey, old man, let's get a high-rank mission. Hiruzen puts his hand on his head. Considering how your last one went, I don't know if I should let you go. I have something now that I didn't have before, old man. Oh? And what was that? Naruto shows off his internal Mangekyo Sharingan. Hiruzen gives him the bridge builder mission, seeing as he might be capable enough to do this one. As they would leave through the gate, they escort Tazuna out, and then, while they are walking, the Demon Brothers then attack the team. But as they get close to stabbing Tazuna, a wind barrier stops them and repels them back. Naruto makes eye contact with Tazuna. We'll have questions for you later. Sasuke and Hinata work as a team, taking out the two. Team 7 continues on the path, and as they do, they question Tazuna, figuring out why he has ninjas sent after him. Hinata walks in front of them, telling them to stop. Naruto speaks. Where? She points in a direction. Naruto and Sasuke then run ahead. As Zabuza waits in a tree, he sees the two Uchihas and then jumps down. Naruto clashes with the Executioner's blade. Pretty decent for a kid. Fire style, fireball jutsu, Sasuke would say as he jumps in the air. Zabuza kicks Naruto away. Water style, water dragon jutsu. This creates even more mist in the area once the attacks clash. So, Naruto and Sasuke regroup with the rest. Naruto turns to his teammate. Hinata, can you see him? She looks around. There's two now. Kakashi turns to them. What do you mean two? Suddenly, Zabuza traps him in a water prison jutsu, and then the clone kicks Naruto, who blocks. The three then get ready to fight. Sasuke goes in first, swinging his Anbu sword, and then the clone dodges, trying to stab Sasuke, but is sent flying by an air palm from Hinata. Thanks, no problem. Now throw me, she would say. Sasuke nods, launching her at the clone, who dodges, but that wasn't the intended target. Zabuza has to move his hand to dodge. Kakashi is freed, and Zabuza is hit. But from where? And now, the team sees needles in his neck, and a masked figure comes out the shadows, picking him up. Before he could even speak, Naruto smashes him down with a black Susanoo hand. Kakashi looks at him. Why? Naruto walks up to the dead body, showing the headband under the mask. Trust me, I've seen it before, and this would have got ugly. So, Team 7 rest at Tazuna's house, and then they go to the bridge where Gato's men awaited for them. Then, Team 7 easily gets ready to fight. Naruto gets behind his teams, doing hand-suns, fire style, soaring birds, as Kakashi, Sasuke, and Hinata fly straight at the bandits. Kakashi stabs a bunch of them with the lightning blade, and Sasuke will take note of this. Naruto keeps calm, as he doesn't want to use all of his chakra right now. Wind style, storm, scythe. He swings it, decapitating a bunch of bandits in his way. Hinata using taijutsu to counter and disable limbs. Naruto then says, enough is enough. He claps his hands together. Combustion aura. Team 7 is picked up by the flame birds that Naruto created and flown into the air, especially Tazuna with them. Then they look back down to see Naruto, who explodes, and when the smoke clears, he holds up his fan, indicating that the battle has been won by Team 7. And then, when they land, Kakashi questions them. What was that? I've never heard of an explosion jutsu to that caliber. I combined wind and fire to do it. Team 7 starts to head back to the Leaf. On their way back, they look at Naruto and Kakashi will turn to Sasuke. Hey, about your goals. Sasuke then puts his hand behind his neck and keeps walking. No, me and him want to kill different people. If you want to know who he wants to kill, you have to ask him yourself. Naruto stops walking, and this would make everyone stop. He turns to Kakashi, showing the scar on his hand. Orochimaru will pay for what he did, and then keeps walking. They arrive to the Leaf quicker than in canon. Naruto and Sasuke spend days training until they have to go to start the Chunin exams. When they go to enter the test room, Rock Lee comes up to them, flying down trying to kick Naruto and Sasuke, who would use wind to block. When they block eyes, Naruto puts him in a genjutsu. Team 7 would easily pass the first part. When they enter the Forest of Death, they are attacked by a weird snake-like man. Naruto stays calm. Sasuke, Hinata, stay back. He's mine to kill. Orochimaru sheds his skin, revealing who he is to Naruto. Naruto will continue to walk towards him as Orochimaru laughs. Oh, come to avenge your dead friend? How pitiful. Naruto takes the fan off his back and activates his EMS. Fire style, majestic destroyer flame. Orochimaru jumps, but Naruto makes the flames disperse and chase Orochimaru. And then he's in a corner. They all come back together, forming the fireball once again. This hits Orochimaru, burning him. But he finds a way to recover, shedding his skin again. Naruto has had enough, and then uses his Susanoo, forming a blade, swinging it, cutting him in half. Orochimaru summons his snake, feeling that he can't win this battle, and flees the scene. So, right now, Sasuke does not have the curse mark. Naruto sits down exhausted. The ninja then attack them, like in canon, but Sasuke and Hinata easily handle them. Kabuto tries to form an alliance. Sasuke is about to agree and shake his hand, but Naruto puts his hand on his shoulder. Yeah, well, what can you offer the captain of this team? Kabuto smiles. Well, Naruto then cuts him in half with a wind. Then he summons the Black Susanoo, crushing his body. Naruto falls back onto Sasuke. 1 down, 2 to go. Breathing heavily. Team 7 makes it to the matches. The test prompter waves his hand. Naruto versus Kiba. They both walk into the arena, and Naruto smirks, getting Kiba angry. I'm gonna wipe that smile off your face. Fang over fang. Naruto dodges, laughing at him. I should make this fight last a little. Lightning style. Lightning shuriken net. This attack paralyzes Kiba. Naruto runs up, kicking him in the wall. Kiba gets back up, making Naruto activate his 3 Tomoe Sharingan. Come fight me, you dog, because I'll show you the truth in your dark, Naruto says. Kiba tries to attack, but Naruto is too fast, punching and kicking him. Naruto then throws him into a wall. He takes the fan off his back. Make sure you dodge, or you're gonna die. He then swings it. Kiba ducks down, and the air slash created a huge dent in the arena. But he doesn't want to give up just yet, so he punches the ground. How can I lose to someone like that? Naruto picks him up by his hair. Because I have something you don't. And I have someone and something to fight for, you idiot. Naruto throws him far. Kiba looks up, seeing Naruto clench his fist, but he can't hear the words that he's saying. Flames then burst out of Naruto and then scorch Kiba and Akamaru. Naruto crouches down to both of them. Do you ever just give up? Kiba spits blood into his face. Never. Naruto kicks him in the gut. Then they make eye contact that forces Kiba into a deep sleep. The prompter is shocked because everyone knew Naruto as a failure. He then says nervously, Naruto Uchiha is the winner. Naruto goes to his team and Kakashi stares at him. What does he see in that genjutsu? Naruto laughs. A world of truth that I will create. Team 7 turns as they hear the next match. Hinata versus Neji Hyuga. The team is shocked, but Naruto turns to Hinata. This is your chance. She nods, and I'm gonna make it worth it. They jump down, and Neji stares at Hinata. You left the clan. What I expected. She then laughs. I'm gonna change it, and then you will be free, Neji. Neji wants this to happen, but he knows he can't lose this fight, or there will be a punishment. So he looks at Hiyashi. The fight begins as both unlock their Byakugan. Neji rushes at Hinata, and Hinata stays calm, standing still. Team 7 turns as they hear the prompter say, the next match, Hinata versus Neji. Naruto wishes her luck as she steps down to go fight Neji. The two Hyugas lock eyes. Neji smirks. You are destined to fail and always will be regarded as trash in our family. And now, I will show you what your true worth in this world is. Naruto sucks in his teeth as he watches closely. Hinata dashes at Neji, who is able to dodge and tries to counter by blocking her chakra points. Hinata ducks down and then lands a kick to his jaw, sending him high in the air. And then she throws a kunai at him. But in mid-air, Neji then says, 360 palm rotation, countering the kunai, sending it back to the ground, and then he would land on the ground. I have to admit, you are strong, but you still don't have enough to beat me. Your destiny is to fail, so let me show you your fate. Hinata activates her Byakugan, and Neji sighs, doing the same. They both start a battle of taijutsu to see who will come out on top. Hinata is hit by Neji and then falls to the ground. He runs back at her, not giving her any mercy, but she smiles, pushing her fist towards him. Air palm. This pushes him from the middle of the arena to the walls. She then fully stands up, looking at Neji, who falls off the walls, punching the ground. How can someone so gentle, so weak, become so strong? I've had enough. I'm ending this. He runs at her as fast as he can for the last strike, so it can be brutal. And then they go back to hand-to-hand combat. Hinata dodges one of his strikes and then says under her breath, I'm sorry. Hinata strikes Neji in the middle of the chest, causing him to pass out. Hinata Hyuga is the winner of the match. For the rest of the matches, will go the same as in canon. And then, for the 1 month of training, Naruto doesn't even bother to train. He sees he can beat anyone in the Chunin exams without really trying. The only person that might give him trouble is Gaara. But he does do light spars with Hinata and Sasuke. One day, though, Naruto is walking to the hot springs to take a bath when he sees a white-haired man peeping through the hole that he made so he can look at the women. I guess you just can't stop being a pervert, huh? Jiraiya jumps down. Well, you shouldn't be so cocky. Naruto smirks. Then, the fight would be no fun if it didn't last a long time. Jiraiya raises an eyebrow. Come with me. If you truly believe you're this strong, let's test your theory. They walk to an open area, and Jiraiya tries to hit him with a Rasengan. Naruto blocks with his wind barrier, and then he takes his fan off his back. Let me show you true strength. Wind style. Air step. Jiraiya watches as Naruto runs at him and then vanishes. Jiraiya then has hundreds of little cuts on his body. He turns around to see Naruto smiling. That's all you get. If you stay and watch, I'll surprise you with something else. Naruto walks off, and for the rest of the month, he helps Kakashi train Hinata and Sasuke. Then, the matches would begin. First, the prompter would say, Hinata versus Sasuke. This is a friendly match, but each of them take it seriously. First, Sasuke steps up and he copies Lee's speed from the other fight. Hinata wouldn't be able to keep up. So, then Sasuke gets close as she activates her Byakugan and spins. Water rotation, she says. Sasuke gets repelled back, but he gets back up. On the sidelines, Naruto feels someone staring at him. He turns looking at his right and sees Gaara. He then laughs and closes his eyes, watching the match through Sora's eyes. Sasuke and Hinata clash. She is able to cut off some of his chakra, but he is able to get cuts on her with his sword. Both of them then stand up, ready to end the battle. Sasuke then charges up a Chidori, and Hinata does some hand signs, creating a water bubble. Sasuke rushes at her and then stabs the bubble. It explodes, pushing them back into the walls. Naruto smiles. No one gets up for a while, but then, just as the proctor is about to declare it's a tie, Sasuke uses his sword to stand himself up. Sasuke Uchiha is the winner. The next match will be Gaara of the Sand versus Naruto Uchiha. Naruto makes a clone that takes Hinata and Sasuke to the hospital. But while Sasuke passes them, Sasuke then whispers, "Don't lose." The fight begins with the clash of the two Jinchurikis. Gaara starts off by throwing sand at Naruto, who uses wind to shield him. This goes on for a while. Naruto then speaks. "You bore me, but I do have to say, your endurance is good. Let's check out how you do against this, though." Naruto releases the barrier and starts to walk at Gaara. "Are you mocking me? I'll kill you, you worm." Gaara Sand forms hands, trying to clap Naruto in the middle, but he's already gotten behind Gaara, and then the Sand Shinobi feels something. He looks at his hand to see blood dripping. Gaara then begins to let out his bloodlust and killer intent, so Naruto laughs, but everyone else watching is shaking. Naruto then activates his base Sharingan. "You really want to see something, Gaara?" Naruto then releases his own bloodlust, which feels like Gaara times 10. Naruto keeps using his wind to cut Gaara down. After a while, Gaara then lets Shukaku take over. As he tries to run at Naruto, who appears in front of him, slamming him down by his face into the ground. He then flips off of Gaara, and Orochimaru busts through the walls on top of giant snakes, and before he can speak, the snakes' heads were cut off by Naruto's wind. Perfect timing. Two of my targets in one area. As he turns back, Gaara has left. Naruto then follows him into the forest with a new area to his advantage. Being able to move swiftly off of trees, Gaara then turns into the One-Tails, and Naruto smirks using his EMS, and a full-body Susanoo appears. It forms a weapon, not a sword, but a scythe. Gaara then screams, "Die!" But Naruto tries to cut him in half. The sand then reforms, so he rushes at Gaara. The Jinchuriki can't keep up with the power of the Susanoo. He tries to attack the leaf. Naruto lets him, and then slams him into the ground by his head. He then goes to the ground to finish Gaara, but Temari and Kankuro stand in his way. Fine, if they are so desperate to keep you alive, you must be special to them. So, I'll let you go, just because I have someone else I need to kill. Back to Hiruzen versus Orochimaru. Hiruzen isn't able to keep up. He's just getting too old, and before he activates the Reaper Death Seal, Naruto cuts Orochimaru in half. Let me finish this, Lord Third, and stay out of my way, or I will kill you. Orochimaru regurgitates himself into a whole new body, and then he tries to keep up with Naruto. After a couple of exchanges, Naruto has had enough. Fire style, majestic destroyer flame. Orochimaru begins to run, but Naruto appears in front of him, kicking him down into the fireball. And as he is burned, Naruto picks him up, putting him in a genjutsu. Orochimaru looks around, and then he sees it. Or him. He sees Shoni. No, wait, an army of them. Orochimaru gets laid out on one of his research table and is cut open by Shoni and stabbed over and over again for weeks. On the outside, Naruto's on his knees, exhausted from using so much chakra in the genjutsu. Months pass for Orochimaru, but it's only been 5 minutes outside. Naruto finally stands up. He picks up a kunai, walking towards Orochimaru, and then cuts his head off and burns him to ashes. He then walks off as it begins to rain. He ignores all the fighting around him. Naruto arrives at Shoni's grave. He looks at it. You can rest in peace now. Naruto is sitting on his knees and looks up, and for a split second, he sees the ghost of Shoni, and then it disappears. He cries in the rain with a smile on his face, feeling accomplished. And now, for this timeline, the only people who are hospitalized are Hinata, Hiruzen, and Lee. Sasuke's injuries weren't that bad as Hinata's, so he's let out early. Then Naruto and Sasuke go out to find Tsunade, the slug princess of the leaf, so she can become the 5th Hokage, and Jiraiya goes with them. So, let's get into it. They go to a hotel, and Jiraiya leaves the two in there by themselves. After a while, they hear a knock on the door. Naruto opens it and sees Itachi. He runs back, grabbing Sasuke, jumping out the window. Glass shatters all over the street and on the next building. They land on the next building, and Itachi and Kisame follow close. Naruto then turns around, and Sasuke stands on his side. Naruto, take the other one. Itachi is mine. Naruto starts to walk towards Kisame. Oh, the Ninetales wants to fight. Well, throw your best at me, kid. Kisame makes eye contact with Naruto and falls to his knees. Naruto puts his hand on his shoulder. Don't defy me. My words are absolute. Now die. He tries to kill Kisame, but Itachi blocks the attack and then runs away with him. A day later, they find Tsunade, drunk as ever. Naruto ignores her, which makes her even more angry. So then she speaks to him. Whatever, kid. Jiraiya, you sure he's an Uchiha? I mean, look at his hair. Naruto stands up and walks away. And then, as he's in the doorway, he looks at her. Watch your tongue in my presence, or it could lead to your demise. Tsunade gets up, angry, following him outside, and tries to hit him, but is thrown back by his wind barrier. Why, you little? She says as she tries to kick him, and then he disappears. Don't feel bad. He's beating all of us. She turns around. Orochimaru too? Jiraiya looks back. He killed him in honor of his fallen comrade. I guess that's what you get when you look at Madara and Uzuna's descendant. Tsunade decides to head back to the Leaf because someone needs to try and control the boy on his rampage. Then, after a while, she is nominated and holds a clan head meeting. Tsunade stares at the Uchiha seat. Later, flame swirls around the room and goes to the chair, and Naruto forms out of the flames. He puts his feet on the table. Is there any good reason that I was summoned? Tsunade then speaks. Yes, we decided you need to be controlled because of the way you approach all your problems. Naruto goes from a smirk to a face of pity. Control me? Don't make me laugh, you arrogant bastards. If I really wanted to, I could destroy the Leaf at any moment. Hiashi laughs. Boy, you could never. Naruto looks at him. Well, now that I think about it, you're the last target on my kill list as of now. So how about it, Hiashi? A fight to the death. Naruto, stop it. Tsunade looks at both of them. Both of you are acting completely out of hand. Naruto looks at her and then squeezes his left hand, which makes wires go against everyone's neck. Naruto turns back to Hiashi. Now pay attention. Naruto then forms a Biju bomb in his right hand. Just like the Ninetales, I don't like being imprisoned. So, next time, choose your words carefully, or it could lead to your demise. Tsunade gets a flashback to the first time they met. He then gets up leaving, and then the wires disappear. Naruto walks through the leaf getting stares. The day fades into night, and Naruto was assigned a mission by Tsunade to go kill off some bandits. The job doesn't take much effort at all, so Naruto feels uneasy, but he decides to run back to the leaf. So he uses Sora's eyes, seeing smoke in the direction of his house. He then makes a flame bird, getting home faster. He arrives at his house and runs inside the burning building. He goes to his room and sees Hinata. He then holds her tight, and she opens her eyes and whispers her final words, kissing Naruto as the house caves in on both of them. When Tsunade arrives, all she can see is a half-body black Susanoo and Naruto holding Hinata, crying. A week passes, and her funeral is held. Naruto attends it, and after that, the leaf was quiet. Dead silence. Naruto doesn't walk around anymore, so Tsunade decides to check on him and pay him a visit. She walks into his hotel room to see no one is there. There's no trace of the boy. Far away from the leaf, an unknown area, we see a house surrounded by a beautiful field, and we see a hooded figure lay flowers on a grave. Wind breezes and blows off the hood, showing the short red hair. Peace, huh? I guess I'll have to try it for you. As a tear rolls off his face, and Naruto heads back into the house he built. Back to the leaf, Tsunade goes to the graveyard where Hinata was buried, and the casket, along with the tombstone, is gone. Everywhere else that Naruto used to go, she sees no trace of him. Weeks and weeks go by, and they still can't find him. Eventually, 2 years pass, and the leaf begins preparing for a war. See, because of the Nine Tails not being in the leaf, the other nations see it as a chance to gain power over them. Naruto is 14, and after a year of staying in the house, a village not too far from his house was made. So, every once in a while, he goes into the town, but he no longer carries his fan anywhere, and he doesn't wear his Anbu clothes, and he stopped fighting, but has never stopped training. He goes to a bakery in the town. He walks in. What do you got for me today, Anne? She shows him a cake, and then she says, it's on the house today, but I hear word spreading around there's a war coming. Naruto smiles at her. Thanks, I hear that too. What are you planning to do when it comes here? Naruto gets a serious expression to stop it before it reaches the town. Naruto then leaves, walking on the long trail to his house. He picks up a blue and red flower. When he reaches the house, he lays the flowers on the grave and smiles as he sits down, opening the box, holding the cake, showing it off. A tear then falls off his face. Happy birthday, Hinata. Naruto sits on the grave, eating the cake. He makes a shadow clone that will put him into a temporary genjutsu, and when he opens his eyes, he sees her face just for an instant, smiling right back at him. The clone then releases the genjutsu. 2 months into the war, the leaf walks towards the town to warn the people, but a figure stands in their way. Tsunade steps up. Please move. We need to warn that town that a war is coming. No one is getting in my town, and no one from my town is dying. Now Tsunade, where is he? She steps back. Hiyashi's on a different battlefield. Naruto holds up 5 fingers, confusing her, but then she's knocked out. Naruto looks at the shinobi. You have 5 days to bring me him, or I'll kill the Hokage. 2 days later, she wakes up, looking around. Naruto punches her. You caused her death. You didn't have to make me go, but you made me go on that mission. and you lied to me. Those weren't bandits. They were from the Leaf. They were Hyuga, and Hiyashi set the fire while I was gone. Tsunade looks down, but Naruto lifts up her head. You are a disgrace to all the Hokage. She looks and sees something she never thought she'd see. Naruto has tears running down his face. He then kicks her stomach, making her cough up blood. You took away my happiness, and for that, I will never forgive you. You are a worthless shinobi that I can never call a Hokage. You are nothing more than a problem, and it's so ironic that a medical ninja causes so much death in the world. Tsunade wants to speak, but there's nothing she can say that will change the boy's mind. Naruto is too far gone. He lost his last tie to his humanity, and now he's just a raging monster. The next day, the shinobi arrive. Kakashi steps up with Might Guy and Hiyashi. Naruto throws them a beaten Tsunade. Kakashi looks at him. Don't be surprised, you fool. I guaranteed she'd live if you brought him here. I never guaranteed the condition I'd give her back in. Now, you all may leave. Hiyashi looks at Naruto smirking. So you figure... Naruto snatched off his head, and then he summons Kurama, throwing a Biju bomb at all the ninja. Kakashi absorbs it with his Kamui. Naruto then begins to laugh. Huh. Well, how about this one, Kakashi? Can you stop this one? Kurama. Naruto then gives Kurama a black Susanoo armor, and then Kurama stands on two legs with the black scythe. He swings it, killing hundreds of ninja, but the only survivors would be Might Guy, Tsunade, and Kakashi. They barely escape. Naruto makes a clone that surrounds the village, and then he goes to the main battlefield where he sees the 8 other tailed beasts, and then he sees men in black cloaks with little red markings on them. Kurama easily kills Konan, Deidara, Hidan, Kakuzu, and Kizame. The 8 Tails looks at Kurama. So you disappear, and that causes a war. So then you come back to finish it. Kurama laughs. I only left because my partner had promised to keep, and now he must finish the war. Naruto was just riding on top of Kurama, but now they enter KCM with the black Susanoo armor, which increases their power a lot. Naruto looks at the 8 Tails. Stand in my way, and I will crush you. With all of a sudden, all the other Kyuubi surround Kurama. Naruto laughs. Kurama, let us remind them why we are the king of Biju. The 1 and 2 Tails charge at him, but Kurama grabs the 8 Tails by the horn, slamming them into each other. The 5 Tails then charges up a Biju bomb, but before it gets released, Kurama had shoved it back into its mouth. Kurama jumps back roaring. Then Naruto does hand signs, and lightning strikes down on all the Biju. Kurama then gets on all fours, doing a giant Biju bomb, and firing at them. And then, when the dust clears, all the Jinchuriki lay on the ground. And the other shinobi around stop fighting to realize what has happened. Naruto then stands on top of Kurama. Dry waves. I knew you'd fight for us. Naruto then turns. No, I declare war on all nations, unless you stop the fighting here and now. The leaders of the nations then walk up to Kurama, and they all agree to end the 4th Great Ninja War. Naruto releases Kurama and starts to walk away. Disappearing into the shadows, Naruto returns to his home, far away from any village. He then kneels, looking at the graves. He begins to cry, and then he says, "Life is just so painful." A voice says from behind him, and then he turns around to see Itachi, Toby, and Pain walking out of his house. Then Pain pushes a chakra rod, impaling Naruto into the grave. He then casts a black Susanoo rib cage, but Toby walks into it, stabbing him again. Naruto looks at the three and back at the grave, accepting his fate. Itachi then says, "We can't kill you yet. We need the tail beast." Naruto then laughs, taking out a kunai and stabbing himself.